Guys, I'm not saying this is my last will and testament, but if this video finds you and I'm nowhere to be seen, send help. So after the last week of bits and bobs kind of going wrong on a major scale, you saw us talk about the van. We then had some warning sensors going off. We had a few other bits and pieces going on. We thought, you know what? Let's have 2 or 3 days at a lovely little air and we'll just chill out. So we spent a couple of days actually with friends in Antiquera. Didn't record anything, but if you're ever passing this area, really come in and check it out. It is absolutely beautiful. By the way, Nicola's finishing off some work. And then it was about an hour's drive to the campsite that we had booked. And we went in and grabbed some shopping and came back out again, and the campsite was phoning me. I was like, oh, must be just confirming the booking. But no, the chap was actually confirming that morning the local council had shut his campsite down. Not quite sure why. So we weren't going to be able to stay there. So it was kind of, obviously the weekend, we're quite close to the coast and things were getting booked up, and we really did want to come and kind of hunker down for 2 or 3 days. So I found another area and thought, let's go there. And so we drove about an hour and came in here. And I was quite surprised, or we were quite surprised, that it's empty, no one else here. So we thought, okay, well, it's obviously quiet season. So we just kind of pulled up, got ourselves a spot, chilled out for an hour or so. And then I kind of thought I'll read some of the reviews. We use Parkfinite, as you probably know. I'll read some of the reviews. And between arriving here and an hour later, the site no longer exists. We don't have the exit code to get out of the gate. And all of the reviews on Google have got pictures of this place, but nobody else here. Could be an interesting night ahead of us. Did we survive the night in the campsite of horrors?
Turns out we did.
Well, of course we did.
Although at 5 o'clock or this morning, I think it was, there was definitely something walking over our roof.
There was something on our roof.
And it wasn't lightweight either.
No, and I kind of put my head on it, kind of...
And he then came back in squealing like a little girl.
Dramatic effect for the vlog. So we are slowing our roll over the next couple of days at this, in the light of day. Very nice little, even a few more people turned up. But we discovered a little hike. Well, Nicola discovered a little hike about 5k away. So we're going to jump on the bikes, cycle over to this place. It says it takes a couple of hours to do the hike. It's a 10k hike. So it'll probably take us half the day, get lost, and have to get rescued by the Spanish rescuers, I guess. Right, first up, jumping on the bikes for only the second time on this trip. They need to get used at least 5 times to stay with us.
And of course we haven't fixed Nigel's brake,
no.
So we have to hope it's okay.
Oh yeah, don't have a brake.
Nope.
Right, next up, the village that I can't remember the name of.
Cantamo or something? Cartamo?
That's the one.
We'll let you know later.
It's like a 70-degree climb. Haven't even started the hike yet. Well, that was a touch hillier than we were expecting. We haven't even started the hike yet, and we're both completely blown out our backsides.
Is that moderately hilly? No way was that moderate.
Trusty steeds tied up. Time to go start the hike. At least we've actually found the starting point this time, so.
And there does seem to be other people here, so. Oh.
Terrain.
Don't know what that means.
Is something extreme precautions.
Okay.
So we are doing we're on the PA 295, Sendero Concedente con Tráfico Rodado. Oh no.
This says 4.5 hours. Oh no, hang on, we're doing this one, aren't we? We need to do this one, not the 4.5 hour, I don't think. Do we?
I'll be right back. See what happens when I leave Nicola to do the planning.
Oops.
Looks like we're doing it. It says 4.5 hours. Who knows whether it'll take us 4.5 hours.
But this is interesting because I read some reviews and one guy said 2 hours and one guy said 4 hours. And it turns out there's 2 different routes, so they misled me.
Oh, I blame them. Right, the hike won't get done by itself.
Okay, so we're doing the 295.
Sierra de los Espartes.
It's only 435 metres. We walked more than that to get to Sierra Nevada Village the other day.
There you go. Let's
We're
do
good.
it. We should pack more sandwiches now. Not too bad at all.
When I find a hike, I find a hike.
Yeah, we're
That's hard.
literally on the little sort of normal path for all of about 30 seconds, and then we're clambering up through the scrub.
Oh my word.
But spectacular views down into the town already. And it's at Cartama. And actually, I'll over a little bit of B-roll because you won't be able to see these here. We've crested this little hill and you can over into the mountains over there as well, but just beautiful. And we can see in the distance there's a castle that I think is part of the route as well. So
I don't think anybody will be able to make out my
you see the
finger.
way she was like right, looks like we're on a bit of even ground for now a little while.
The one thing in our favour is it's actually turned a bit cloudier,
Yeah.
and it's so nice when the sun goes in.
Breeze.
Breeze is lovely.
Right, onward. And a very tasty lunch was had by all.
It was indeed.
So it looks like we're now starting to make our way back down into the valley and hopefully somewhere towards the castle. We're probably a couple of K from the finish. We ended up actually doing the shorter hike because it looks like the longer one just sort of went out into the countryside, and we sort of cut across 295.1.
And we're not as hike fit as we normally are.
Exactly.
So
Right, now we have
I hate the downhill.
Nicola's
Hate
nemesis.
it.
Looks a bit shady, so we'll
I've
take our
already
time.
fallen down just like a hill like this.
Bodes well. Right, see you in a bit. Well guys, we made it up on top of the castle and we also visited, was that Hermitage?
Hermitage.
Hermitage?
And there's a rock.
What's the difference?
One doesn't have an H. Oh, I see. Well, they might be the same things, I'm not sure. But there's also a rock down there which means something, and I can't remember what it is. I'll try and find out.
So basically we're somewhere, we've just been to something, and there's some information that we need to find out. Once again, the cooks are on top form. But yeah, really nice hike. Probably will have ended up doing about 3.5 miles by the time we get back. We can actually see the starting point. And just behind me, we can actually hear the planes taking off from Malaga Airport as well. Quite close, about 50k from Malaga as well. So, right, well, we're gonna make the dander down to the starting point. There might be a stop off in the village for a refresher before we jump back on our steeds and cycle back to the...
And thankfully, I think it's mainly downhill going back, which is good. But I'm glad we went for the 2-hour one, definitely.
Yeah. What was really weird as well was we spent 90% of the hike out in the middle of nowhere, didn't see another person, and then we rounded a corner just after lunch and it was just civilization.
Well, there was actually 4 houses up a hill, and I kid you not, somebody left from every single house while we were walking down. So something must be going on. What are they up to?
Well, they probably saw us coming. Let's make sure those 2 yahoos are out of the way before we leave our house and our valuables. They probably know we needed a bath. Right, down to the van.
Oh, hold it there. I'm trying to get a picture. Not a view of the scene.
Well, we were about to record a little outro, and then someone ran off to steal some lemons.
Would you like to see my lovely lemons?
It's not that kind of channel.
I actually had some of the fresh lemon in my gin last night and it was absolutely gorgeous. All the fruits here just taste so much better than you get in the
really,
UK.
really do. So guys, what started out as a will we ever make it out of here alive? We ended up booking we ended up booking an extra night, and it was just it allowed us to kind of not only do that hike that you saw, but then yesterday we just had a complete chore day. It's always good to have a day where you can just spread things out, get things really well washed. Nicola was in one of her
I was in a cleaning mode.
frenzy.
Yeah.
So,
but to be fair, at least every couple of weeks you need to blitz the van, you really do.
so this has been fantastic, and I think it worked out at €13 a night. The showers were fantastic. We didn't partake of the pool.
I put my feet in.
A little bit chilly.
Actually, it wasn't as cold, I don't think, as we were imagining.
That's what she always says.
Because normally my feet are the most sensitive bit for me, my feet and hands.
So the plan now is we're going to drive off. Last little chore action today is to do a little bit of shopping, and then next week, or this week coming in, but next week for you guys, I'm leaving all of the planning up to Nicola. Should be fun.
It's going to be a more interesting week.
Oh, the challenge has been set.
Actually, it's probably more interesting for me because it's things that I like doing, so it might not be as interesting for you.
Yeah, it'll just be a week of Nicola cleaning the van.
Some people would like that.
I do, yeah. Again, it's not that type of channel. Right, guys, well, once again, thanks a lot for following along. And until next time, you should probably be waving
I need
with
to
your...
wave my lemon.
She needs to wave her lemon. Let's get that on a t-shirt. See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.